marks Vegan Month, where we shine a light on the vegan movement all over the world, and it is a movement right now. The vegan movement does not only benefit animals, but the environment and humans as well. And we've invited director at Fry's, Tammy to discuss what Vegan Month actually entails and hopefully help you take the first few steps if you haven't joined us on this meat-free journey that we've been on. Tammy, good to see you again. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show again.
Well, this is your time. This really is your time. I would imagine the world has changed quite dramatically from when you started this journey and went all in, because you guys really did go all in, not just for yourselves, but for a growing community that needed to find its place in the world. How much has changed during this journey, and where do you think it's going? How do you feel now?
Well, it's obviously incredible. When I went plant-based as a child, there were no alternatives. It was so difficult. I mean, people still thought that chickens, if you ate chickens, you could be vegan, you know? It was very misunderstood, but obviously the world's changed so much. And we're seeing a massive growth and interest in veganism, but not only veganism, just flexitarianism, you know, cutting down meat consumption, realizing that meat has such, or animal agriculture has such a detrimental effect on the environment. Eating too much meat is not good for your health either. So there's definitely a huge amount of interest in plant-based at the moment, and super exciting because it's just the world is changing and it's for the better.
What's driving that? What do you think is bringing about this shift in paradigm? Because it requires a different lens to look at this kind of ecosystem that we're playing in, certainly from a consumer's perspective. What's brought on the shift?
I think there's definitely a shift in consciousness where people are starting to consider how the way they live their life impacts on other things. But I also think that we're starting to see a massive rise in non-communicable disease, which is lifestyle disease. So heart disease, diabetes 2, autoimmune, hypertension, blood pressure, and people are starting to get that within their families and close circles. So they're really starting to investigate how they can live a healthier life to prevent some of these lifestyle diseases. And obviously a plant-based diet is one of the ways that you can move to living a longer, healthier life.
Accessibility has always been an issue. You yourself highlighted the fact that there was nothing available when you started, hence Fry's existence, which is fantastic. But how important is it that the bigger chain stores, that the market actually offers us meat-free alternatives?
It's essential because to make the change can be so challenging. People will say, you know, how difficult it is to give up hot dogs or burgers or steak, or to go to a braai and just eat salad is very, very difficult if you're a South African. So being able to buy a vegan or plant-based boerewors or a burger, which essentially cooks the same, has a very, very close texture and flavor, and you can still stick it on your bun with some fried onions and still have that whole experience, is so important. So to have accessibility allows people to make the shift a little more easily.
What has been the most successful product to date to help this transition? I'm thinking it's got to be a nugget. It's got to be a nugget. That's what my kids get.
All hail the nuggets. Definitely for Fry's, our nuggets have been, I would say, our top seller, because, you know, you chuck it in the air fryer, it's like 3 or 4 minutes, your kids have got something that's high in protein, it's, you know, natural ingredients. So I think the nugget, and it's so close in taste and texture. It's delicious. Makes it so easy. Yeah.
Maybe I can round this off. For someone who has walked this path and is so emotionally invested in it for all the right reasons, what advice would you have for someone wanting to start that journey, to transition out of a very meat-dominant diet, so to become flexitarian first, and hopefully moving towards something that is more conscious? I
think, you know, not being too hard on yourself. Change is difficult, so, you know, take it step by step, go slowly. You don't have to become fully 100% vegan overnight. Celebrate all the small wins along the way. And as you go along your journey, you learn new things. You know, you can buy recipe books that can inspire you to cook more plant-based during the week, and just keep inspiring yourself and stay close to your why, because often you can forget that over time. And when you can stay close to that and passionate about it, makes the change a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think it's important to realize this is not about getting your vegan's membership card and belonging to a community. It's got nothing to do with that. It's great if you find your tribe and you've got people who can help inspire you, but ultimately it's that knock-on effect, understanding why we need to make these changes. And that doesn't matter who you are. We all need to be on that same ship right now. So thank you so much for leading the charge. Thank you for all the nuggets. I might constitute
Thank you for buying
a part
them.
of your product growth, actually, because my kids absolutely adore them. And that's the key take-home here, is that it's for the whole family. And you can introduce this culture to your little ones in a way that they're going to absolutely love, because it's delicious. So stay tuned, because we're going to prove it. Just now, at least Tammy is. She's going to be sharing a great plant-based recipe for unearthed Mexican sweet potatoes. Very nice.